Most people will spend thousands replacing a car that could have been saved with a $5 part. Yes, you heard that right. $5 can sometimes stand between your car and the junkyard. Think about that for a second. A used alternator, a starter, or even a salvaged tire can cost less than a fast food lunch, yet extend your car's lifespan dramatically. In this video, I'll reveal the overlooked, dirt-cheap fixes no one talks about, and why jumping to junk your car could be one of the most expensive mistakes you ever make. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. What if the $700 repair job your mechanic quoted could actually be solved with a part that costs less than $10? That sounds impossible, right? But it happens more often than people realize. A lot of car owners find themselves in a situation where the repair bill is higher than the car's market value, and their first reaction is usually to call it quits. They figure it's not worth throwing money into an old car. But what they don't see is that a large percentage of these costs come from labor markups and brand new replacement parts, things that can be avoided if you know where to look. Here's the reality. Many repairs that get exaggerated with huge shop estimates involve parts that aren't rare at all. A mechanic might tell you a starter replacement will set you back $500 or more, including labor. But if you visit a salvage yard, you'll often see starters sitting in crates for under $10. A new alternator might show up on that intimidating invoice at well over $400. Yet rows of cars in a recycling lot often have perfectly good ones that cost less than lunch at a fast food drive-thru. This is where the hidden cost of giving up too soon really shows itself. It's not that the repair can't be done affordably. It's that people never think to look beyond the first quote. Imagine this scene. You walk into a sprawling auto recycling yard, row after row. Hundreds of cars sit with engines, batteries, wheels, and countless other parts still intact. Each one could house the exact piece you need. You don't have to spend hundreds. You can literally grab a small but essential component for the price of a sandwich. It's almost surreal to compare what you see at the yard versus what's typed onto a repair estimate. Yet this difference is what makes the decision to junk the car so costly for so many people. There are plenty of first-hand examples that prove this point. One driver whose old sedan suddenly refused to start was quoted $600 for a new alternator and install. Instead of paying up, he looked at a salvage yard. The result? He walked out with a working alternator that cost $8. Another person snagged a used but still strong car battery for just $5. That meant restoring life to their car for less than a single fast food combo meal. These aren't lucky finds. They're common, routine purchases anyone can make if they know where to go. But here's the cautionary element. If all you do when a car breaks down is take it to the nearest mechanic, you're putting yourself in the position to overpay. Shops rarely tell you about cheaper ways to handle the problem, because their revenue comes from selling new parts and charging labor. That's why people with cars worth under $2,000 often decide to scrap them after seeing a big dollar number on paper. They don't realize the so-called finished car just needs one small, inexpensive replacement. Think of the financial advantage this represents. If you skip a $300 repair bill by pulling a $5 or $10 part, you just bought yourself several more months of driving without taking on a car payment. Imagine saving $200 or $300 multiple times over. For someone avoiding a $400 monthly payment on a new vehicle, that buys an impressive amount of breathing room. Those numbers stack up quickly and can postpone new car debt for months or even years. So, which exact parts can you find for under $10 that could mean the difference between driving or junking? The list includes common lifesavers. Batteries can often be had for a few dollars, especially when they've been recently swapped in before a car was sent to the yard. Alternators, which shops mark up aggressively, are also common finds. Even a spare wheel, that item you usually forget until you're stranded on the side of the road, can cost under $10 at some yards. You don't have to go far to see the savings. But it's not just about parts lying around. There's an overlooked strategy that makes these cheap fixes even more powerful. Most drivers never step foot in a salvage yard. That mistake could cost them thousands. They picture broken glass, twisted metal, and heaps of rusted out shells left in the dirt. That image keeps people away. What they don't realize is that many salvage yards are run like retail businesses. Instead of junk piled in corners, you'll see organized rows of cars sorted by make and model, with aisles wide enough to roll a cart through. Some even have shelves stacked with removed parts, tagged and priced so you can walk in, grab what you need, and leave in minutes. The reason this matters is simple. Too many people dismiss salvage yards as places where only desperate mechanics shop. That perception costs car owners far more than it should. When you believe parts are unsafe, untested, or too hard to pull, you avoid them completely. Then you hand the repair over to a shop, pay several $100s, and leave thinking you had no other choice. Yet right across town sits a yard filled with exactly the part you needed. at a fraction of the price. Picture this instead, walking into a yard and seeing racks filled with $5 starters, $10 wheels, or batteries pulled so recently they still have full charge. Every row of vehicles looks like a storage locker of spare parts. A window regulator that costs over $200 new will often sit there for less than $15. A headlight assembly marked up to $400 in a dealership catalog can be picked up for under $40 if you know where to look. The difference is staggering once you've seen it in person. And while you might assume it's risky, the truth is most salvage yards operate with clear procedures. Many parts are inspected, tagged, and tested before being put out for sale. Some larger yards even keep an electrical testing station where they'll hook up your alternator, starter, or battery to confirm it still works before you pay. This system reduces the guesswork and makes the experience far more reliable than people expect. There are real stories that highlight just how valuable these yards can be. One driver with a mid-sized SUV needed tires after a blowout. At a tire shop, a set of 4 was priced over $600. He went to a local salvage yard instead. After 30 minutes of browsing, he found a set of barely used all-season tires, still with deep tread and evenly worn, for under $40 total. That's hundreds of dollars saved, all because he was willing to step into a place most drivers never think to visit. The other concern people raise is how to tell if a used part is any good. The truth is, it doesn't take advanced knowledge to make a smart decision. Checking tire tread only requires a coin or a tread gauge. Both cost almost nothing. Looking at a battery with a portable tester gives you its charge and health within seconds. Even simple visual checks like making sure cables aren't corroded or confirming a wheel isn't bent take just a moment. With these easy steps, the risk drops dramatically, and you can walk out with a reliable fix for a tiny price. Sometimes $5 separates a dead car from months or even years of extra life. That tiny amount can be the barrier between signing away your vehicle for scrap and giving it a second chance. Before you assume that dealership debt is your only way forward, stop and think. Salvage yards aren't graveyards. They're practical, affordable sources of parts that keep cars moving longer than you'd expect. The next time a mechanic hands you a scary repair bill, check your local yard first. Don't waste money replacing what you can repair. Your cheapest solution might be just down the road.